The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom has been out for a couple of weeks now, and after having the pleasure of playing through the game and experiencing the echoes, it is safe to say that I enjoyed the many different ways you can use the echoes to fight enemies and solve puzzles. It really made Zelda feel different from the hack and slash action we know and love from our boy Link. But I'm not gonna lie, not all the echoes are created equal. Some of the echoes are absolute doo-doo water that you get and try out only to be met with immediate disappointment because of how garbage they are, basically. Not to mention others that you get early in the game that become your bread and butter for the entire playthrough. So I'm gonna give you guys 7 of the best and worst echoes in the game in my own humble opinion. What's up guys, Tactics here with another video today, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. Now the way I'm doing this is I'm gonna start with the number 7 slot of the best echo, then I'll do the number 7 slot of the worst echo, and we'll bounce back and forth with that. So let's go ahead and start with the number 7 best on my list, being the Strantula. This little guy is pretty useful and you get it pretty early in the game, and it can be used very easily, only requiring 2 of Tri's shards to use, so you still have the ability to summon something like a platform or whatever if you need it to stand on. Now, I know what you're thinking, these things are only useful really in the 2D platforming sections, and I would agree. But since there are so many different 2D sections in the game and many have you moving vertically, it's a good means of climbing to higher areas much easier or crossing gaps if you need a little extra help. And the way I'm ranking these echoes is based on how soon can you get them and also how consistent you might be able to use them throughout your playthrough. And that's why I think this little guy deserves the number 7 spot on my list. Now on to the 7 worst echo, being Pots, Link's worst enemy at the beginning of the game since Zelda's bag ain't that deep yet. She has to help the Pots get their revenge on Link for all their fallen brethren that he done smashed up over the years after all, even if it's not the real him. They gotta take their anger out on somebody, right? Not gonna lie though, after about the 2nd dungeon, the Pots start to fall off heavy, but I think that's fair since they done got their get back of the century against Link. All these years of being abused, now the war is finally over and they can retire back to being just regular furniture again. Well, until my man strikes again. At the number 6 best spot, we got my man the Crow. Now, I love me a little creature that can be up to some devious activities. This little smug bastard will swoop down and mug your ass if you're not careful. I mean, this man acting like Debo out here robbing people in broad daylight. But I have to remind this guy that, well, you're not him, son. But once you put him in his place, oh yeah, you work for me now. Yes, sir. This man can pick the pockets of your foes, scattering their money all over the ground, and after you collect the spoils, you can send the brokey to the afterlife. Not gonna lie, that is one hell of a way to regret ever being alive, though. Getting robbed blind before getting put to sleep forever.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
For the number 6 worst echo, it has to be the table. Now, I don't really have much to say about this one since, well, it is a piece of furniture, but just like with the Pots, it's your first echo and it makes itself useful for about a good minute or 2 before you get the trampoline. Then it pieces out forever since the trampoline is far superior. Like, I'm sorry, the trampoline just brings more to the table than the actual table itself. It's a one-tile echo that gives you slightly more elevation than the table. So yeah, compare it to that, I would say, yeah, the table's just garbage. At the number 5 best spot is the Tornado. This little wind frog toad looking thing comes with some pretty janky abilities like flinging things into the air. He can't do damage himself, but where he lacks in strength himself, combined with Zelda's triple-digit IQ, my man becomes a versatile echo. Like for example, in the Shadow Realm, oh wait, no, sorry, wrong thing. I meant the Steel World, where there are cliffs everywhere. You can summon this man to fling enemies off the map and let gravity do the rest of the work. Not to mention combining this man's ability with the bed to grow a pair of wings and basically just take flight. Like, there is so much jank you can pull off with this man, and just pairing it with the bed alone makes it S tier in my book. Now, I was just praising a lot of the echoes that deal with flight or can make things airborne, but the number 5 worst echo, which is the Needlefly, had to rain on my parade since this thing is sorry as hell. Like seriously, how are you gonna have the advantage of flight against most enemies and still can't even land a single hit? He's trying so damn hard to poke this guy with his 1-inch pecker, but like bro, tuck that thing back inside your tail and never extend it out again, cause you ain't poking nobody with that thing. Now the number 4 spot for the best echo has got to go to my homie the sword Moblin line. From level 1 to I think 3, these guys know how to put in some work, even sometimes handling a 3v1 while I just kind of sit back and cheer from the sidelines. It's crazy how just having a shield makes a difference in the Zelda universe. Like being able to stun enemies after blocking and then counterattacking. Like, okay man, I see you bro. Now I understand why Link is the type of beast that he is, able to parry attacks with his shield and then open them up for a good beatdown. No doubt the most goated of the monster echoes that you can get in the game. Alright, this next one for the 4th worst spot had me more disappointed than a father who stepped out to get milk and never returned. Even more disappointed than the Needlefly's little 1-inch Hyena, and that being the Beetle mound. When I first saw this thing, I was like, yo, I could just use these guys to defeat my enemies with overwhelming numbers. Nope. This little granddaddy looking spider wouldn't even be able to handle the 1-inch weed whacker of the Needlefly, even with the numbers on their side. Not to mention, the mound they crawl out of is very easily broken. Like, bruh, you can sneeze on this thing and it'll fall apart. Hell, I even think Tornado could destroy it and he don't even do damage. Like my man is a passive aggressive guy.
I spit on you.
He don't do the killing himself. He let other forces handle that for him. All in all, it's an absolute whack echo. But you know what can help this man out? By liking and subscribing to the channel for your boy. 1 like equals 1 beetle that can be saved out there on the battlefield. Thanks guys. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Now we're rolling up on the top 3 best with the flying tile kicking things off here. You can get this echo as soon as the map opens up, and I believe it's in a cave somewhere out there in Hyrule Field, but you can also get it in the Gerudo Desert Temple. This remote control tile will have you looking like Aladdin out here on his magic carpet, being able to cross gaps with ease. Not to mention it works well both in 2D and 3D sections, but I would say mostly in 3D. I really don't have much else to really say about this gem of an echo. It's just really great for horizontal movement and you can utilize it in pretty much any platforming section. As for the 3rd worst, I'm going to have to include the food items, since unlike the statues you get, which are only ever used for that same desert temple you find them in, the food items can be used to interact with mobs at any given time. The idea is to bait them in with a delicious snack of meat, and as they're eating it, it gives you an opportunity to get in a free hit. But yeah, that's about it. You only get a free hit because after that, they're ready to throw hands. Now a lot of enemies in Echoes of Wisdom usually takes a few hits before going down, so just getting 1 free blow in ain't gonna cut it. What's worse is the fact that usually there's more than 1 enemy that you come across. So while you're trying to get a back shot on 1 mob, another one could be rearing up to do the same to Zelda. So I just don't think it's worth it when you can just use another monster echo to distract and even deal damage at the same time, while you take pot shots at them yourself. At the number 2 best, we got the water block. If the flying tile was good for moving horizontally, then the water block sees that and says, hey, I can do better son. Because you can spam this echo since it only takes 1 shard to use 1 block, while the flying tile takes up to 3. On top of all that, you can use it to move both vertically and horizontally by stacking them together. Plus, if you're on that demon time, you can drown your foes by dragging them into a block of water and watch the life slowly drain from their eyes. Like, oh, just imagining Zelda standing there watching Ganon's minions drown like, yeah, little nigga, that's right. That's for capturing me earlier. Like, damn, chill, Zelda. He wasn't even the guy that captured you. It was Ganon. Like, damn. Speaking of Ganon's mob army though, we got the Spear Moblins at the number 2 worst spot, the more cowardly cousin of the Sword Moblin. Now you might be wondering why this man is so low. Well, This guy is just straight hot donkey doo-doo garbage. Not only are these guys incredibly weak, but they feel the need to take their sweet ass time winding up an attack. And if the enemy gets too close, this nigga literally runs away. If somebody don't get this man out of here, they already don't do a lot of damage, and I have to sit here and watch a staring contest between these two mobs. And yes, even though this guy can deal some damage and actually maybe land an attack here or there, unlike the needle fly, the fact that my man is such a coward is what puts him at the number 2 spot. Okay, now for this next one, do I even really need to talk about this? You already know what it is. I mean, you can sit on it, you can stand on it, sleep on it. Hell, apparently you can even make bridges with it. I mean, what else is there to say about the bed? It's the best invention since the light bulb. You can't change my mind on that. And like I said earlier, Tornado allows you to take flight with your bed and experience what it's like to be on cloud 9, even if it's only for a few seconds. Now as for the worst echo, I could have easily given this spot to the spear Moblin, but since he at least can line up a shot on some enemies, he gets a bit of a pass here from getting roasted some more because we've got Ripatoon. This ugly ass toad don't do nothing but sit there and sing to the ops, thinking that's gonna stop them from turning him into a delicious cuisine of frog legs. I mean, there's just no excuse for this man. His music is bad, he can't hold a tune to save his life, and he ain't about to make it out the hood with them trash ass lyrics. Just get this man out of here. Alright, there you have it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video for your boy, and subscribe if you're feeling even more generous for more content like this. I've got some more Zelda content coming your way for this month, since I do kind of consider this month to be like Zelda month for me, so stay tuned for that and stay on the lookout. But with that guys, I appreciate it again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.